Lady Exopolitic here with you on Tuesday, October 4th, 2011. It's 10:53 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. A couple things to talk to you about today. If anybody had the opportunity to listen to Dr. Stan Deo and Holly Deo last night on Coast to Coast AM with George Noory, they would have been fascinated, you would have been fascinated to hear what they had to say with regards to the Canary Islands situation. Just a little bit of a clarification because there seems to be a lot of conflicting information out there. Is El Hierro the threat? Is Cumbre Vieja the threat? Is the threat on La Palma Island is the threat, if there's any threat at all? Well, evidently, yes, there is a threat. And according to Dr. Deo, here is how the threat goes. It seems as though the magma flow under El Hierro is moving northward. North of El Hierro Island is La Palma Island, which is home to Cumbre Vieja, an absolutely massive volcano that takes up 40% of the island. Now, according to Dr. Deo, again, the magma is moving northwards. If the magma does move far enough north to be under La Palma and to be under Cumbre Vieja and to stimulate Cumbre Vieja into some kind of an eruption, we could find ourselves in a very precarious situation. Apparently there is a ledge or a rock wall on La Palma Island that is twice the size of Manhattan Island. It weighs several billion pounds, and when it hits the ocean or when it falls, I believe it's actually submerged, but when it does fall into the deep ocean there, it will cause a tsunami that is going to radiate, as you can see these waves here, and it shows exactly where it's going to go and about how long it will take. So you're looking at about 16 to 23 foot waves in the United Kingdom in about 4 to 6 hours. 130 to 160 foot waves on the east coast of North America that would travel about 650 miles per hour and 12.5 miles inland. That's pretty frightening because if you think about it, you know, you're looking at the island of Newfoundland there would probably be wiped right out. Florida would be completely wiped right out. The Caribbean islands down there, Cuba, it's not a good situation for them. Now, 130 to 160 foot waves is about half of what we had discussed a few days ago when we were talking about 300 foot waves. Just goes to show how much conflicting information there is out there. And there's actually, this conflicting information is coming from experts. For example, Dr. Stan Deo is giving us this information. Last week I was reporting to you some information that was coming from Mitch Batros, and he had a bit more of a, I think he was the one who was discussing the 300 foot waves that would be hitting North America. So at any rate, here is this really interesting map. You can have a look at it yourself at coasttocoastam.com. It's an interesting interview actually with Dr. Deo, so if you have an opportunity to have a listen to it, I do suggest that you do. I catch all of my Coast to Coast AM recordings, I guess you could say, from Mr. Super Potato Tomato on YouTube here. He's great, and he's got them on, you know, by the very next day, so it's fantastic for me, and I'm sure it would be for you as well. Okay, a couple other things that I wanted to mention here today. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm just going to weave through here a little bit. And is it obvious to you? Is it as obvious to you as it is to me? I've been tracking earthquakes on the USGS website and the EMSC website since early spring of 2011, and I'm by no means an expert. I have made it part of my morning news. These websites shaken in the world, and I'm a little concerned these days. It has been well over a week since we've seen anything in red on these screens. Red indicates 6+ magnitude. Now, 6+ magnitude earthquakes are not always significant and they're not always felt. And the reason for that is a significant number of them occur offshore, way out in the middle of an ocean somewhere, or they can occur very, very deep underground, hundreds of kilometers underground, thereby providing an awful lot of ground to absorb the shock of the tremor, so the actual tremor up at the surface is minimal. Having said that, there's usually a couple of them in there every week. Vanuatu, for example, the Fiji Islands, for example, you know, you often do see these 6+ earthquakes occurring in different parts of the world. Well, not lately. As I've said, about 2 days ago I first reported on this, and I ended up deleting my video because I sounded horrible because I was sick. So, we're probably going on about 9 or 10 days now since a 6+ magnitude earthquake has been reported on either the USGS or the EMSC websites. That has me a little concerned. The reason for that is I'm just visualizing pressure building beneath the Earth's surface somewhere. And when there are no quakes like that, it tells me something's building. It's like putting a lid on a pop bottle and shaking it, and then when you pop it open, it just explodes. And I'm worried that something might happen where we're going to have something significant to release this pressure. I really, really hope I'm wrong. I'm not going to doomsday this or anything like that. I'm just going to say be prepared. Another thing that I should mention, it seems that more recently earthquakes have been associated with solar activity. Now, you must be well aware that we are undergoing almost a severe time in activity right now. We're going through a solar maximum, which occurs about every 11 years. And interestingly enough, the last time we had a solar flare blackout that was severely impactful was one that's called the Carrington event, and it took place in 1857. And doing a little research online, I did find that there was also an earthquake that hit the west coast of California in 1857. I don't know if there is a relation there. I'm sorry, did I say east coast? I meant west coast. I don't know if there's a relation there, but again, the more and more I read, the more I realize that these scientists are putting 2 and 2 together, and they are associating the Earth's magma movement and plate movement and heaving, etc., with the electromagnetic energy that is being thrown at us by the sun. So again, having this absence of 6+ earthquakes doesn't sit very well with me deep in my gut. So I'm going to keep an eye on this and let you know. And I'm hoping to see one soon. I'm hoping it's going to be way out in the middle of the ocean somewhere where nobody's going to feel it and it's not going to cause any damage. But at least it'll allow me to breathe a sigh of relief that our beloved planet is releasing some of that pressure that's got to be building up underneath that crust. Where is that earthquake? Where are those earthquakes? It's unusual that they're not happening. And I've Google searched about the absence of 6+ magnitude earthquakes over the past 7 days, and I've found nothing. So it seems nobody's talking about it. Nobody seems concerned about it. I don't know, maybe there are people who are concerned about it, but it's just not being put out there for those of us to see. So it is something that concerns me. I'm by no means an expert, like I said before. I am a mom of 4, and I've made it my life to be aware of what's going on this planet and around this planet so that I can protect my family and myself. And I implore you to do the same thing, and that's why I'm going to keep you posted on what's going on here. Now, speaking about increased solar activity, wow, something wicked happened on October 1st. A massive, what looks to be a massive comet. I mean, if you look at the size of the sun compared to this comet that is shooting towards it, it looks massive. Well, spaceweather.com reported an M-class flare, actually two M-class flares that occurred on October 1st that were headed in the direction of the Earth. But what they did not report on was the fact that that X-class or M-class flare is apparently the result of a comet hitting the sun. Now, the comet hits the sun at this angle here, and the X-class flare or the M-class flare erupts on this side. Now, this is before the impact, so this is actually just, a regular old flare that's going on. I'm going to try to play this. It's going to jump here, so I'm going to have to adjust the screen here so you can see it. There we go. Let's see if we can do this. Alright, now watch what happens. Watch what happens here right after the comet hits. You'll see. Kaboom! Look at that. Unbelievable. I'm not exactly sure what happened. They say, okay, this comet slammed into the sun. I don't believe anything can slam into the sun. I believe the sun is made up of gas and plasma. So my guess is this comet just shot right through the sun. And yes, it obviously disintegrated in the process, but it went through the sun and was coming out this way, and that is the solar flare that it caused. Now, apparently, there are a lot of comets out there these days. Wow, that's just incredible. There are a lot more comets out these days, so and they seem to be attracted to the sun. There seem to be a lot of sun-diving comets out there, and we can see firsthand here exactly the effect that a sun-diving comet has on the sun. Now, an interesting thing here is that I did mention earlier that spaceweather.com did mention the flare occurrence, but it didn't mention anything about the comet impacting the sun until yesterday. So that was 2 days later, because this particular video, which I believe was captured by amateurs, was all over the internet, and there was no way to deny the fact that there was a comet hitting the sun. So spaceweather.com had to fess up and mention the fact that a comet did hit the sun, but it also calls the flare a coincidence, which I find kind of hard to believe, simply by the trajectory of the comet and where the flare is located, and it just seems too convenient to be a coincidence. It's too, well, as George Norrie would say, there are no such thing as coincidences. But so, yep, that is the situation with the sun. Apparently, the M-class flares are going to radiate the Earth today sometime. It could cause some geomagnetic telecommunication problems, some satellite problems, who knows, maybe some blackouts. It was, I mean, if you look at that thing, it was a pretty massive flare. So I'm going to keep my eye on the sun here and report more to you. Obviously, you know, you need to find the information online yourself, because you can't count on your mainstream CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, Space Weather. You can't, NASA, you can't count on any of them to give you real information on what's going on in this world. So I do appreciate you tuning in. Tune in again. I might come back with another video this afternoon, seeing as I'm feeling better. And I'll probably read something off of an article, a very interesting article that I found last night that I might want to share with you later on today. All right, well, thanks again for tuning in. This is Exopolitic signing off just for a little while. And everybody, have a great day.